Scottish fans are known for three things: their kilts, their chants, and their libations.
Been drinking since, what time did I get up this morning? 1 o'clock in the morning I got up.
That's when some fans began heading to the airport, bound for the US, bound for the World Cup.
We ran out of beer. That's my only complaint.
The pilot telling us when the beer ran out, he switched to wine.
So I'm going to go and have a nice whiskey at my digs, and then I'm going to go out and hit the town. I'm going to find cheers. That's what I want to do. I want to find cheers.
It's the spot where everyone knows your name. By the end of the weekend, Boston will know the Scots, certainly by their attire.
What's an airplane seat like in a kilt?
It's a bit hot and sweaty.
Fans showed up ready for the games this weekend, some shelling out thousands of dollars to see the team play in the World Cup for the first time in 28 years.
Quite expensive, yeah. It was the Category 1 tickets.
First on sale, they were about 1,200 quid.
A host of fans struggled to get into the States after their ESTA applications from approved to pending or rejected. ESTA is the system that approves travelers getting into the U.S. and gives a waiver to bypass a visa. Fans were concerned right up until their flight.
Talking to some guys in the pub last night and they were all nervous too.
There's been a lot on social media, a lot of people getting knocked back and not getting across and stuff, so it has been a bit of an eye-opener. Yeah. But we were worried, obviously, but we're here now and I think that's us just about outside, so we're nearly out on American soil. Yeah.
U.S. Customs and Border Patrol told us in a statement, in part, ESTAs are continuously vetted and travelers must be complete and truthful. Failure to disclose arrests or convictions constitutes misrepresentation and can lead to an ESTA denial, revocation, or permanent bar from the U.S.
Honestly, mate, I couldn't sleep.
You thought you too might get turned away?
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely.
Now that they are here, it's a weight off their shoulders.
I really want a pint, so food and drink, that's for sure.
Beach and soccer weekend. World Cup fans are taking over Boston tonight. Tomorrow marks the first match at Boston Stadium between Haiti and Scotland, and fans from all over the world are getting the party started throughout the city. City Hall Plaza is officially open now for FIFA FanFest.
So starting today through the 27th, matches will be shown on a big screen and local artists will be performing for fans. WBZ's Mike Sullivan is live there right now. And Mike, the fun is already starting.
Absolutely has, David and Lisa. You can hear how loud it is around you with the music. They just played one of the anthems for the Scottish team right now, and they have been dancing all this time behind me. I know we put a lot of the Scottish fans on our air over the last few days because they are really just taking over the city, but they do have 2 games this weekend at Foxborough. No Scotland, no party. That's their saying, and they live by it. Only at FanFest, the Scots aren't alone, sort of.
So the accent sounds Scottish, but the shirt says Canada.
This is my adopted country and I love it.
Tommy McCready is rooting for both. FanFest has become a cascade of red, white, and blue, just not for America, for Scotland and Canada.
All of a sudden, it was like a spaceship came and dropped off 50,000 people from Scotland.
Michael Bryan is a Bostonian, only he says this weekend the city might as well be Glasgow.
It's like they overnighted Scotland flags. All these bars are like, hey, Scotland, go on Amazon, get Scottish flags, put them up.
At the Dubliner, they are creating honorary Scots, me included.
They're all different shirts and kilts, and it's just awesome to see.
It's like just being here is the same as winning the trophy.
Yeah, we stole it from England, because they're not going to win it anymore. Anybody wins it, but not England, because we've got the cup.
For those who made it to FanFest, the music is electric. Some souvenirs are free. Just don't forget the sunblock.
I put it on with a paint roller.
At a 5,000-person cap, some fans have been trying to get in, but can't. It's left others to frequent the bars instead. They've made the best of it. Even they can't recruit a Haitian fan to their side. Like the World Cup, you can't win them all. Well, FanFest will carry on into the night tonight with more games showing on that big Jumbotron and that big screen, but it will end at 10:30, so again, tomorrow at 2.
Live in downtown Boston, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
Boston police officer with some pretty nifty soccer skills has gone viral with his footwork. Surrounded by a crowd of football faithful, Sergeant Connor Hardy showed off with a round of keep-ups at FanFest, City Hall Plaza last night. Sergeant Hardy played soccer at St. Anselm's, and the crowd was loving his skills, cheering him on with chants as he kept the ball up in the air. Boston police tell us their social media accounts have had thousands of hits, and some international sites that reposted the video have had millions of views. We caught up with Officer Hardy this afternoon back at FanFest.
The fans, both American and Scottish fans, were playing with the ball, and I think what they thought when I came over that I was going to be the fun police and actually steal their ball. But I did actually steal their ball, and then just kind of ran with it and did my thing a little bit, and it was kind of funny. I guess took off. Yeah.
You can steal the ball, right? Boston police tell us the First Minister of Scotland was so impressed with Sergeant Hardy that he personally came down to FanFest today just to meet him. Soccer fans are flooding Foxborough tonight ahead of Boston's first match of the World Cup. Haiti is facing Scotland at 9 o'clock tonight, and thousands of supporters from all over the world are already at the stadium down there on Route 1. But the party goes far beyond Foxborough. Screens are set up at City Hall Plaza for the FIFA FanFest, and bars all across the Boston area are packed for what has turned into a statewide party of sorts. And keep in mind, it's only the start of a month-long World Cup takeover around here. Good evening, everyone. Ken McLeod with you. We're seeing heavy traffic and packed trains ahead of the match. WBZ's Logan Hall spent his afternoon in the thick of it. He joins us live now, and Logan, the travel chaos doesn't seem to be dimming the fan excitement very much.
Yeah, Ken, that's right. Good evening. You got that right. There is definitely no lack of excitement here at Boston Stadium. This place is buzzing, and we are still about 3 hours away from the beginning of this first match here at Boston Stadium between Scotland and Haiti, and it is absolutely electric. Both Scottish and Haitian fans out here having the time of their lives. I was actually at South Station when that first train boarded, and let me tell you, it was about 2 o'clock, and these Scottish fans were already starting to drink 7 hours ahead of the game. I don't know how they're going to manage to keep going until that 9 o'clock start, but we are going to definitely see how they fare out here. Now, we had the chance to talk to several of these folks as they were boarding this train and actually on the train, and they said that yes, it was chaos to get on that train. There were long lines. It was definitely a slow-moving train, but a little less than an hour later, we pulled up to the station here. Here's what one fan had to say about the experience and his prediction ahead of this big match.
Never out here because the train was mental. 5-0.
5-0 Scotland.
Yeah, easy.
5-0 easy. That's quite the prediction. And let me tell you, that confidence from that fan he was definitely not the only one that felt that way. Just about everybody that I talked to was very passionate about their side. Both Scottish and Haitian fans felt like they were going to come away with a win. So it's definitely going to be quite the match here at Boston Stadium. But again, we're still several hours away from this match starting, and this place is already packed full of fans who are ready to have a great time inside of Boston Stadium. Reporting live in Foxborough, I'm Logan Hall, WBZ News.
Well, how do you celebrate when your team wins its first World Cup game in 28 years? What about a kilted march to Fenway Park? Yeah, the Tartan Army is taking over the home of the Red Sox tonight. Hundreds of Scottish fans have been out marching all afternoon, and I suspect some haven't slept since Scotland beat Haiti 1-0 last night down in Foxborough. Here's WBZ's Paul Burton.
Still on cloud 9 over last night's victory against Haiti in the first match of the FIFA World Cup at Boston Stadium. Scotland fans are living it up.
It's just euphoria, absolute euphoria. At one point I actually thought I was going to pass out because I had such a head rush from the high of just when we got that first goal.
Best time of my life. Off the scale, it was really, really good.
On Sunday afternoon, Scotland fans came together at Evansway Park to celebrate before heading off to the Red Sox game as a group.
So many Scots have come from Scotland and all over the world, and it was like, if we could just win that first game.
The victory over Haiti 1-0 was the talk of the town.
We're better than we think. I think we're stronger than we think. We're the underdog, but the boys are smashing it so far.
I've got a funny feeling
we're going to surprise a few people. Oh, the summer time has come.
No shortage of singing and celebratory dances here.
It's unreal. Best night of my life. Like, it's just, obviously, it's not something we've not done in our lifetime, so just to be there and be part of it was unbelievable.
Now they're on their way to Fenway Park. One thing they're not looking forward to, but say they will participate in, is Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline during the middle of the 8th inning.
It's an England song, but we'll sing it. We'll sing it. One special performance for the Scotland fans, Sweet Caroline. One night only.
And as long as Scotland keeps winning, these fans will keep on smiling.
The people of Boston have been so welcoming to us. Everyone's so friendly. Everyone's like, congrats on the game.
From the music to the dancing to the laughter, it's clear folks from Scotland are having a ball after last night's big win and taking in all that Boston has to offer. In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
Yeah, they have shown up in enormous numbers, are not shy, and clearly enjoy a beer or two. Scottish fans have descended on Boston big time for that country's first World Cup appearance in almost 3 decades. Most of them say they're really enjoying their host city, and as WBZ's Aaron Parsegian found out, the feeling seems to be mutual.
From sunup to sunset, you can't miss them. Scots have taken over Boston, our pubs and our heart.
No Scotland, no party. There's no party if we're not there.
As this Reddit poster jokes, I for one welcome our new kilted overlords.
Everybody loves the Scots.
Yeah. And you guys are really welcoming. It's kind of like feeling at home as well. It's a good city, so yeah, it's been fun.
A World Cup trip for tens of thousands of the Tartan Army have led to finding a home away from home.
It's just the friendliness of it. You know, you meet people and they're willing to tell you where to go, how to get there, that kind of thing. Even your police are very friendly.
They're loving the people, the party, and the sightseeing.
We're going to do a little bit of touristy things maybe this week, maybe the duck tour or something like that, because why not come to Boston and experience the things that it's famous for?
What made you want to come to this slide specifically?
Just the infamous cop slide, yeah.
They're always down for a good time. It's not gone unnoticed by locals. Videos of their celebrations have gone viral. Some say it's been a joy to watch. Others plotting for ways to bring Scots back to Boston, even if soccer isn't on the schedule.
So if Boston want us back, we'll happily open an invitation and come back over on.
And many are still soaking the city all in, with Scotland set to play another match in Foxborough this Friday.
Everywhere we go, we sort of take over, and really friendly people and atmosphere, and the Boston people have taken us to as well, so appreciate that. There's more to come too. There's more coming over next weekend, so be good fun.
In Boston, Aaron Parsegian, WBZ News.
All right, there was a massive turnout for today's March to Fenway. One thing Scottish fans are not looking forward to is the traditional playing of Sweet Caroline during the 7th inning stretch. That's because it's become the unofficial anthem for the English football team.
Now to the World Cup, and Tartan Army reinforcements landing in Boston today. A second wave of fans hitting New England before Friday's match. Tens of thousands of Scotland supporters have really taken over Boston streets, pubs, and landmarks over the past week.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and they are in good company. Fans we talked with say the city has been nothing short of welcoming. WBZ's Logan Hall is live in Boston, where the fans are now waiting for more members of the Scottish team to arrive. Logan?
Yeah, David and Lisa, that's right. Good evening. We are at the Westin in Copley, which is where this team is set to arrive. I want to show you guys some of the preparations that are underway as we await this team ahead of their Friday matchup against Morocco. You can see some police officers beginning to set up barricades as they are predicting massive amounts of fans out here to welcome the team. We were also at Logan Airport today to meet some of those Scottish reinforcements, those fans who made the trip over to watch their team and are ready to cheer loud at the stadium.
No Scotland, no party.
The Tartan Army's reinforcements have arrived at Logan Airport. We're referring to this as the Tartan Army's reinforcements coming in.
Really, we got the call a couple of weeks ago. They said they're running out of beer, they need some help, so that's why we're over here to give them a hand, drinking some beer and partying hard.
The reinforcements, the backup and the noise. Big noise to come.
There's still more to come. We're all there, got the kilts on, and we're representing our country well.
As Scotland gears up for their second World Cup match against Morocco on Friday, fans like Finlay Sinclair are ready to contribute to the record-setting noise inside the stadium.
It's like 125 decibels or something, like standing next to that jet engine. I don't know how we do it, to be honest. We're passionate, clearly.
Definitely. Between flights, hotels, and tickets, it's a trip that's cost many fans thousands of dollars. But those landing at Logan say it's worth every penny.
It's worth it. That's what it is. It's an experience that we're lifelong friends. It's an experience we'll talk about for years and years. So the money's worth it.
From the streets of Boston to the bars, all the way out to Fenway Park, the Scottish invasion is still in full effect. Come on! So we've only seen a couple fans from Scotland out here so far, but don't worry, they will definitely be packing this hotel in just a matter of time as the team is set to arrive here. If I were a gambling man, I'd put money on the fact that they are probably still at the bar. Reporting live in Boston, I'm Logan Hall, WBZ News.
Fans from Scotland and Morocco are counting down the minutes until tomorrow's World Cup match in Foxborough. Massachusetts has welcomed the international fans with open arms. And as WBZ's Penny Commit shows us, many are fitting right in.
I feel like it's a perfect match. Boston and Scotland, we've got the same sort of humour and we all like to party. So yeah, it's been good.
Ahead of tomorrow's World Cup match between Scotland and Morocco, a new wave of the Tartan Army has washed upon Boston shores, depleting the city's beer supply and leaving their signature mark. You may have noticed some new decor around Boston, traffic cones atop several statues throughout the city. Turns out it's an old Scottish tradition, just another way the Tartan Army is making a second home here in Boston.
There's a statue in the middle of Glasgow that the locals have put a cone on. The government kept trying to take it off. Locals kept putting it back on, and now it's just a famous statue with a cone that's said, and everybody just lots of tourists come take pictures of it. So that's the idea of why everybody's doing it to your statues here.
The Scots are not only making themselves seen, but heard. Scottish artist Callum Beattie just arrived yesterday and hours later was on a stage at Brighton Music Hall for a last-minute guest performance.
My guitar got lost on the flight, so I had to run to the music shop as soon as I arrived. I bought a new guitar and I played a show at 7 o'clock.
Beattie's music has millions of streams online, and he may have just made some new fans in Boston.
The performance was incredible. I did not stage dive as much as I wanted to, but it was brilliant, and the Americans, they were all singing along.
Do you plan to wear this kilt the whole time you're here?
That's the only thing I packed, I swear to God.
In Boston, Penny Commit, WBZ News.
A Boston liquor store has caught the attention of the Tartan Army.
And it's not for the shelves full of alcohol. No, Joby Liquors has been in business for about 60 years and has now become a landmark of some sorts. The reason? Well, Joby means poop in Scottish culture, resulting in members of the Tartan Army taking photos and videos of the store in absolute hysterics. The store says that he wasn't aware of the meaning of Joby, but says the experience has been a positive one.
First 30 minutes of being here, had to be at least 25 different groups of guys who came in to take pictures.
Just in the store?
No, not even, just out front, and they just carry on. Yeah.
All jokes aside, Patrick said the Tartan Army has been very nice, very supportive during their time here in Boston, but also said the name Joby is a combination of his parents' first names, Joan and Billy. So there you go. At first, I'm like, well, why would they do that? But I guess if I were overseas and I saw a liquor store called Poop Liquor Store,
you'd be like, I got to take a picture with this.
Grab a quick picture.
On perhaps a softer side to the Tartan Army, it paid tribute to Scottish fan Donnie Strathy, who died earlier this week. Yeah, today his family organized a gathering at the hotel he was staying at for the tournament. That's where he died. Strathy had a ticket to tonight's match. His friends tell us this would have been his first World Cup match in attendance ever.
He's been like a kid on Christmas Eve since we booked it. He was so excited to finally get to the World Cup and see Scotland. And he had a ticket for the game tonight, which is even more tragic because he didn't make the game last week. He didn't have a ticket. Me and John, who's with us, we did. So he watched it in the bar, and Mick Morgan's there. And then he's been having a great time.
Yeah, they hope the people will remember Strathy by honoring him during the 76th minute of the game. He was 76 years old.
All right, let's talk World Cup now. Team Scotland is heading for Miami after 2 games here in Boston, and so is the Tartan Army. Let's be honest, is there anyone who has more fun, win or lose, than those Scottish fans? WBZ's Paul Burton says they love Boston and vice versa.
While some Scotland fans may be disappointed in yesterday's loss to Morocco, they are still bringing that positive energy and vibe wherever they go.
Oh, it's been fantastic. As you can tell.
Oh, it's been amazing. The atmosphere has been incredible and everyone has been so lovely, and it's great to be part of the Tartan Army.
It's been a dream. It's like being in a movie. Every time you walk around a corner, you're like, wow, everything's so big, you know?
For the past week, tens of thousands of Scotland fans have bombarded Boston and flooded Foxborough with enormous pride for their team.
One of my best experiences of my life.
Boston Logan Airport was busy with Scotland fans who are leaving town, but their trip is far from over. Andy Glass is boarding a flight to Florida to follow his team to Miami.
Plan now is to go to Miami and beat Brazil. Easy.
Meanwhile, bars and restaurants like the Dubliner have been cashing in.
St. Patrick's is traditionally our big weeks, but this is like double what we normally do. And yesterday was our biggest day in our history in 4 years, so God bless the Scottish.
A lot of bar owners say sometimes the summer months can be slow for restaurants, so having FIFA here has been huge and will carry them through when things aren't so busy. But how badly will you miss them?
Well, we're all pretty tired, so maybe a day without them wouldn't be too bad, but we'd like to see them again.
Back at Logan, Scotland fans say they will miss their time in Boston, but not the prices. They say this trip has cost a lot of money. How can you guys afford all this?
We can't. It's the price of a new car this trip. $15,000 probably.
Well, it's been 28 years since the last World Cup we were in. We don't know when we'll qualify again. So for people back home in Scotland, it's just been a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
I'm Stephen Godden, Steven Godden. I am a news reporter for BBC Scotland, and I am based in the Edinburgh newsroom. General news reporter, do a little bit of sport from time to time, and the World Cup is my beat as well. The fans coverage. So yeah, we're both in the same boat.
You've been busy?
Yeah, very busy. Tell me what your experience has been like so far.
You know, I don't think Boston was totally prepared for what was coming our way when the Tartan Army arrived, which has been so refreshing. I think I've been seeing a lot on social media, as I'm sure you have. It's been tense politically for years, and it almost feels like you guys have lifted the valve a little bit on the pressure and kind of just injected so much positivity into Boston, and it's been really fun to see. I've never seen so many kilts in my life. I feel like I know all the chants. I know players of yours that I didn't know 2 weeks ago, and I think the city has kind of been pleasantly surprised. Not that we were expecting anything bad. We're hosting the French team for the entirety of their run in the World Cup, and that got a lot of attention. We weren't expecting the rush of the Scots to come in and kind of take over that attention in the best way possible. So it's been great. I will say, Bostonians are known for being a little hard on the exterior, where we're kind of rough around the edges, and you get to know us, and then we're nice. You guys have just blown through that in record time. I have never seen anyone win over Bostonians faster. And when you guys leave, I think people will have some withdrawals when you go, because it's been such a good time.
You were obviously, you knew you were on the World Cup beat, so I imagine there's quite a lot of preparation for that. What were your expectations for Scotland and their fans?
You know, it's interesting because like I had mentioned earlier, the French team got a lot of attention just with Mbappe coming and obviously a global pull of that. I don't think we knew the sheer volume of Scottish fans that would be coming. All of my prep with tourism and hotels, we're looking at overall numbers and not necessarily where people are coming from. And with the games rotating, I think one thing we didn't take into consideration was you all have 2 games here within a week. And so you've kind of set up shop, it feels like, which has been incredible. Someone online, referred to it as like a summer camp, people just setting up. And I guess what surprised me is just, one, how receptive Bostonians have been. I told you I did a story on transportation. You know, the trains to get people to the stadium is adjusting every other Bostonian commuter's train, and no one seems to have a problem with it, which would never happen normally. You know, people would be complaining or pretty loud about that. And so, you know, I think shocking part or a surprising part, the reception that how Bostonians have taken it. You all are so positive, like passionate, and I think that is really contagious, and people here have been latching onto it.
Have you been able to get any sense yet of the kind of economic benefit for the city and what it's meant to local businesses and, you know, local traders and just the wider city area?
We actually just did a story on that yesterday. Well, let me back up, 2 parts. One, the impact on the bars has been incredible to witness. We like to think that we know how to party and can throw a St. Patrick's Day festivity, but when you see reports that bars are selling 3 times the amount of beer that they do on St. Patrick's Day, where you guys are smashing records, and then you see that people are cleaning up after themselves, like cleaning parks, leaving, you know, there's no damage, there's nothing. It's like the best case scenario. So I think businesses are eating it up. We did a story yesterday, even businesses you wouldn't expect. You know, Scott's trying American things, going to a Cracker Barrel or a Costco or a Walmart, all of these things that are uniquely American. And I think athletic stores were expecting, you know, a bump in business, bars and restaurants, but a lot of other people are seeing it as well.
Is there anything that you've covered so far that you simply have not been able to wrap your head around? I've seen the traffic cones on statues.
Traffic cones are everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place, and it's fascinating watching people try to figure out what's going on. I actually am impressed with how high some of the traffic cones are getting on some of the statues. I don't want to know how they got up there, but it's impressive. That has been really cool. Obviously, you know, I'll tell you, I live near one of the parks in the city, and I was woken up on Saturday by a chorus of bagpipes, and I just need to know if that's a normal thing or what. I just was not expecting to be woken up by bagpipes at 8 o'clock in the morning. But again, no one around here is complaining about it. It's like, it's the best thing.
Yeah. What have your interactions been like with Scotland fans? Have you been doing interviews and vox pops and things like that?
Yeah, they've been incredible. I will say, I've done a couple of stories now with Scottish fans, and everyone has been so welcoming, curious, you know, asking questions, where should they go, what should they try? Very family friendly. I met the cutest 2-year-old named Cameron, and I wish I could remember where Cameron's from, but he's a better football player than I am. And it's been, I think the enthusiasm has been incredible and probably my favorite part. I don't know what I was expecting in talking with fans, maybe more of a rivalry or something like that, but when you see these videos of, you know, a Scottish fan playing with a Boston police officer and Haiti fans dancing all together, I don't know of another world where that could exist other than a World Cup environment. And I think that has been so incredible to be able to experience.
I think that's actually hit home for us as well. You know, you see the social media clips of the police officer doing keepy-ups, as we would call them. Is that typical, or is it normally so relaxed? Because, I mean, that's quite surprising for us as well.
I will say, I've been talking with a few people about this, friends and then work, you know, connections, and it's not out of the ordinary, but it's having a place to be able to do it. So our football games, you know, our Patriots, American football games, are a bit routine. This is so unique and is impacting so many parts of the city and outside of the city that I think it's creating spaces for things like that to happen. Like I kind of mentioned at the top, I think we are longing for a little bit of a release on the pressure valve around here. It's just been tense in some ways, and we've been, you know, injected with joy from these teams that are coming in. And I think everyone's here to have a good time. People have planned their trips for years, and I think we've longed for a moment like this to kind of be able to, you know, act out in that way or come together in that way. It's not totally out. I've seen it before, but not this often and not to this level.
Is there anything I can shed some light on or attempt to.
I am curious what you, okay, so I won't totally say where you're staying near the city, but I'm curious what you're thinking so far. How are you feeling about being here? What do you think about the reception in Boston? How has it been?
Yeah, I mean, so the first thing I should say is it's hot. And we have, we've from the moment we touched down, we've been having to work.
You landed last week.
Yeah, we landed
last
Wednesday. That was the first thing that struck me, was how hot it was, and I thought the Scotland fans could struggle with this if they do their normal, which is to stand outside a bar for 12 hours on end drinking pint after pint. This could be quite. There could be some red faces, and so it's turned out. So that's been one side of it. The reception we've had has been great. Everyone we've spoken to has been really friendly. I mean, primarily we initially start by speaking to the Scotland fans and just seeing how they're enjoying the experience. But branched out from that, we were looking to speak to some of the locals just to see what they were making of it. Now, I was struck. I was in the City Hall Plaza, and there was that row of bars that was really the first to be populated by Scotland fans, and I could see people, just commuters walking past, just taking pictures on their phones, and a lot of them looking slightly bemused, but not in a bad way. There were lots of smiles, and when you spoke to them, they were, they seemed genuinely enthused by what was going on, and that seems to have continued throughout the trip, just with more and more and more Scots arriving.
Are you surprised by how many came to Boston?
I'm not surprised, no, because, I mean, this is the first time that Scotland have qualified for the World Cup for almost 30 years. So you can't really overstate how big a deal this is for the country. I mean, soccer, football as we call it, is the national pastime. People are incredibly passionate about it, and Scotland used to routinely qualify for World Cups. When I was a kid, every 4 years Scotland would be in the World Cup, and there was always a frustration that they didn't go further in the competition, but we were always there. And then 1998 it just stopped, and it felt as though Scotland might never get back to a World Cup. So when we qualified in really dramatic circumstances, winning the game against Denmark, it was a huge moment for the country. And from then on, I thought, people are going to travel, by hook or by crook, they'll get here, even though it is expensive. I mean, it's expensive to get here. It's quite expensive, relatively speaking, here, eating out, things like that. So, there's bank balances are taking a fairly big dent, but I think everyone would tell you that they don't mind that.
I was talking to someone maybe on Friday, before the match on Saturday, who said that he saved for 2 years with the hopes that this would come out like this. So I know people have been saving forever. I'm curious, you guys are breaking these records at bars around here. Are you surprised by how well everyone's holding it together? Or I don't think Bostonians trust ourselves with that amount of beer to be able to hold it together. But you guys seem to be doing great.
Yeah,
having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite typical behaviour for the Tartan Army. So I covered the European Championships 2 years ago in Germany, and the numbers that travelled then, I mean, the estimates were that there were 200,000 people travelled to that. So there were huge numbers of people. And again, it was exactly the same. It was, standing in squares, drinking, singing, all of that sort of stuff. But there is, I think it's fair to say that the Scotland fans take a real pride in being ambassadors for the country. So they will, behave in that way. There's lots of fun, there's lots of singing, there's lots of drinking, but you also see the other side of it, which is they'll come in, they'll clean up afterwards. They want to leave somewhere having left a good impression. There's a long history of that, and there's a history of, people talk about almost self-policing, that if someone is stepping out of line, then quite often there will be 10 other guys saying, "Oi, stop that. We don't need that sort of thing." And that's quite unique to Scotland football fans. You wouldn't see that necessarily with the different club teams from Scotland. You know, that there's a unique dynamic to following Scotland in that you see all the fun, you know, all the singing, all the drinking, but within that they want to make sure that they leave having left a good impression.
I think I can speak for everyone here. You guys are welcome anytime. You have been such a breath of fresh air. It really has been incredible to watch. It's been such a mood booster, a morale booster. I think Bostonians have learned a lot and opened their minds, their hearts. I hope you feel that. It seems like it. And it's been fun to see the different teams interact in a way. I think it's been really cool. I just wanted to ask you, I know you've been working, but have you seen anything around Boston or sightseeing or any time for that?
There's not been a huge amount of time for sightseeing. I went out to Harvard for a little bit, had a look around there. Other than that, some of colleagues have been out to Salem. They've enjoyed that, and I'm hoping that we get a day off after the game on Friday to go and see a few of the sights. Well, we went to Cheers as well, which was when I was growing up, was a very popular TV program. Although my younger camera colleague didn't even know what Cheers was. Didn't know what it was.
That's humbling.
So yeah, there's a real generational split.
Well, it's been great. I think, you know, I don't think we could have prepared for this in this way, or for it to work like this. It was on all the major networks last night here in the United States, how you all have been here in Boston and the effect it's having. And it's been a joy to have you all here and to have this go on. And I can't think of another example of something like this coming together in such an organic way.
Yeah. Final question from me as one reporter to another. How have you found live reporting in front of the Scotland fans?
You know, I will get climbed on. It will be a whole thing. I just hold onto the microphone as tight as I can, but you can't make the atmosphere up. You can't make it any better. And I think, you know, being live in the middle of that is a party, and you just gotta like let go of the control and just let the live shot happen and hope for the best and hope you come out on the other end. But it's been really, really fun. You know, we cover so many different types of things. I will cover this any day of the week compared to some of the other news that's out there. So this has been great.
I know what you mean. Great. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. Yeah, this was fun.